I'm a tenacious Taurus kind of person. Stubborn, my husband calls
me
me.
too.
But
I'm Taurus too.
Really? What's your birthday?
May 3rd.
Mine's May 4th.
No.
Oh, see. Well, then we have a lot in common.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
I was born in London, but my mother was working in America a lot. She's an opera singer, which is how she met my father, who directed her. Being the child of a director and a artistic parent, I'm interested in sort of what goes on in the mind of the parent. Did you bring your kids with you, and, you know, were they on set a lot?
We kind of made a pact that if our marriage was going to survive in this industry, that if Francis was going to be gone more than 2 weeks, we would take the whole family. So the whole family went to Italy for Godfather, went to New York, went to the Philippines, went everywhere. And I think that was the key to being able to survive as a family.
How did you get to the point where you decided you wanted to make a fictional film?
I kind of asked myself that because I'm a consummate observer. I'm a good documentarian because all you do is be really quiet and you look and watch, and when something interesting happens, you hope that your camera's turned on and it's in
And you get it.
focused.
Last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, Marty Sheen experienced severe chest pains. At daybreak, he crawled out of his room and down to the local highway where he was picked up by a public bus. Marty, it turned out, had suffered a serious heart attack. He received last rites from a priest who did not speak English.
But I had an experience that just sort of stuck out as something I wanted to make a film about. And I started looking for a woman director to do it, but I couldn't find the person with the aesthetic that I thought I wanted the film to have. And one morning at the breakfast table, my husband said, "Well, you direct it." And I was like, in shock.
Oh, he suggested it?
I don't know how to, I wouldn't even begin to know how to direct something. And so I took a directing class. It's the reverse of making a documentary when you make a fiction film, because you have to be responsible for every single thing that happens. And it was very interesting to try to do something that was the flip side of what I've been doing for many years. About yourself?
It was a much more creative process and a process of imagination. It's not documentary realism, it's art, but it was different. I'm a reporter at WZRB, and I'm always on the lookout for positive human interest stories.
We need higher ratings. If it bleeds, it leads.
This is totally at odds with the work that I've been doing. It's exploitative. It's a film based on a real person. I don't know if you know much about the story. Is a woman called Christine Chubbuck, who was a newscaster in Sarasota, Florida. The only reason that we know of her is because she did something really quite shocking and upsetting, which was make this sort of political statement and depressive statement of going live on television and saying, in keeping with the network's desire for blood and guts reporting, here's a first and attempted suicide, and then killing herself. I have played real people in the past, so I have some understanding of what that is. It's a very different thing when it's someone who you can't sit with and talk to. It was hard, but I'm very proud of it. And it's always what's interested me as an actor is to play a character that are complicated. There aren't many roles out there for ladies that are that, well, I suppose that have this quality of being an anti-hero, if I'm being frank about it. There are a lot of men who occupy those characters in film, these extreme characters that do shocking, horrible things. But on some level, the sort of humanity is explored because you understand them and you love them. But I think it's very rare for a woman to get to play those larger-than-life, extreme sort of characters. Because we're all worried about them being likable, probably. I don't know. I don't know if you have any experience of that sort of thing.
I learned that only 7% of American film directors are women. And that means to me that the women's experience are really left out of the cultural dialogue. And we're 50% of the population. I wasn't that much of on a mission, but I realized as I went forward that I was kind of in this odd little category of one, because I don't know if there's any woman who's made a first feature film at my age.
I think a lot of it is to do with the sort of anxiety of feeling that you're not entitled or you can't do it. And I mean, I certainly feel that. I want to direct something, and I feel very, it took me actually working with two male actors turned directors. And I sort of watched them and went, oh, you mean if you just walk into a room and say I'm a director, then that's kind of it, you know? Like, I mean, also you have to be brilliant and talented and all the rest of it, but the actual act of deciding to do it is really as simple as that. And I think it's hard for women to find that sort of power and voice to be, you know, I'm still kind of struggling with it.
But see, that's the fear you have to push through, and I think that's the fear that I'm pleased that I was able to just say, oh my God, you know, here I'm trying to write a script, and at my dinner table are 2 Academy Award-winning script writers. You know, and what do I think I'm doing trying to write a script? I don't even have any Coppola genes when you get right down to it, you know.
But you've got the experience. I mean, that's everything, is watching it happen, witnessing it and living, and I mean, what better time to tell a story?
Thank you.
Nice talking to you.
Really nice, Rebecca. Yeah. This is a treat.